Hello and welcome to another Out of Spec Reviews video. Welcome to the inside of my Tesla Model S, where I have just received the FSD Beta update. So I just want to make it very clear, this is not becoming like an FSD Beta channel. You might see a video here or there about this. I think it's fun to play around with. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to share too many of my thoughts on my perception of the system before I use it. I literally haven't moved the car. I just got the update. I'll walk you through sort of how I got this. And, you know, I know I've talked about this slow progress of waiting for this to come to this car on the Out of Spec podcast, but I'll walk you through that. I just got 10.69.3.3. That's the FSD Beta software. I'll show you here on the screen. I've got a couple GoPros mounted up, and then we're going to try it for the first time. Yeah, really kind of excited, actually. I think it's cool. Really cool stuff. So you joined me in my Model S. It is 9:30 in the evening, and the software update just completed. You see, I subscribed to FSD Beta as soon as Elon tweeted out and said, hey, anyone who pays for it can get it. Up until this point, you needed to reach a certain safety score, and I don't really know the parameters, but basically a select few were able to have FSD Beta. And FSD Beta is really Tesla's inner city assisted driving technology. It doesn't really do anything different on the highway, is my understanding, than just the standard regular autopilot that I use on this car all the time. And my Model 3, we've done hundreds of thousands of miles with regular autopilot. It's wonderful driver assistance, assuming you pay attention. But I have made some videos on this channel with FSD Beta, and some of what my experience up to this point has been extremely impressive as to what it can do, and the logic, you can see it trying to tackle situations, and some things it's really bad at. But my understanding is it's gotten better, or at least different, over the year or so since I last used it. And since anyone's able to have it, I was like, well, I got to throw it on one of the Teslas. So I threw it on my Model S. I subscribed for $199 a month, I think is what it was. And then I waited, and it never came to the car. And it turned out I was on a different software track than the FSD Beta. I was too ahead of where the beta was. So now I've waited, I think, 3 weeks or so since I initially subscribed, maybe 4 weeks. And just now I got the update that brings all of the software together. So I'm finally able to play around with FSD Beta. Now, again, I just want to make it super duper clear. This is not going to become the purpose of this channel. We do driver assistance testing on here in our hogback challenges. I also think Tesla's approach, well, I know it's very different than any other automakers, and honestly, I don't have enough user experience to really comment as to whether it's better or worse. The one thing I can say, though, is we really need to pay attention here, make sure we're using the system properly, taking over when it does something pretty sketchy. Again, I always let these things go a little bit farther than most would, but I feel like we really need to make sure we don't get into any dangerous situations here. You know, eyes on the road at all times, and really treating this system with respect, because I wish Tesla had a course that I could take, or someone could take, to say, hey, here are the exact limitations of the systems. Here's where we really want you to pay attention. Here's where we really, or here's how we suggest you take over. And honestly, I subscribed to this, and it came up with a couple lines of text that said, you know, it might do the wrong thing at the worst time and be ready to take over, but there's no real instructions on how to do that. And my suggestion to Tesla would be, at least give us some video courses, give us some pointers as to how to properly use this system in their eyes, so that I feel that the general public could be safer out there. Now, for me, and for probably many of you using this system, you know, technology nerds, driving enthusiasts, yeah, we'll just rip the steering wheel. We'll take over if anything major happens. But I fear as this is making its way into broader public, there will be misuse of the system. But I guess so goes with any new technology. So that's my little spiel. I'm really excited to play around with it, genuinely. And just so happened that this just got beamed to the car. It's 19 degrees outside, so we just, you know, want to make sure there's no ice on the roads or anything. And yeah, let's kick on the GoPros. Let's put in a destination, and let's go try this thing out. I don't know what to expect. I've never really used it, especially in my own car. So going in with pretty much no expectations, and you guys will be there to join me for the first time using this in one of my own cars. I'm just fascinated and thrilled that this can just be beamed over the air, this technology, to my own car. I think it's super neat. Well, you join me in the Model S now, and I've just put in where Alyssa is at the moment. I thought I'd go and pick her up and, see her impressions as well. So I have both camera views facing forward. I don't really think you need to see me, but I want you guys to kind of understand what I'm doing with my hands on this camera view, and maybe you guys can see a little bit of the screen on this camera view. That's my intention, at least, and forgive me, as I'm not really used to cameraing up for this type of situation. So I've put in the address. Again, I'm not 100% sure how to use it. I've selected this, which typically means navigate on autopilot. If I come over here to autopilot settings, I've already gone through the FSD Beta screen, and it basically says you're in early limited access beta and must be used with additional caution. It may do the wrong thing at the worst time, so you must always keep your hands on the wheel and pay attention to the road. Now, I've seen some FSD testers take their hands off the wheel. This is saying to keep your hands on the wheel. Not totally sure what I think will feel right. I don't know if it'll ask me to touch the wheel. Do you want to enable FSD? Yes. So everything is on. I've put it in the average profile. You can have it chill or assertive. I say let's start in the middle. We have everything else on and selected. All the safety stuff engaged. Of course, I'm here to watch over it. Let's see. Okay, let's put it in drive. Let's get out on the road, and then I think I can enable it. So as I pull out of the driveway here, the one thing says it's raising suspension. Good. We need it to be not very high, but we need it to be at least high to clear the driveway exit. And oh my goodness, I already have things here on the screen, FSD Beta things. Wow, cool. I just got to turn the cabin lights back to auto because I'm finished filming the introduction here. So let's just come out of the driveway nice and slowly so we don't scrape on anything. There we go, very nice. We're gonna get out on the road. You can see it's already seeing my leaf over there on the right. How cool is the visualization? That is super neat. And I guess let's just engage it, shall we? Boom, engaged. I'm gonna set it to the speed limit, so it's set at 25, and I'm just hovering over the wheel here, trying to take caution. Now I know it does eye tracking with the interior camera. I'm not sure how well it can do it at night. I assume well enough to allow it to work, but I really need to make sure my eyes stay on the road. So it lets us go 10 miles an hour over the speed limit. We're just gonna go 5 over. I feel like 30 is a reasonable speed. And I'm gonna let it do its thing. Whoa, this is so cool. The visualizations are incredible. How does it see these cars in this parking lot over here? I can barely see those. It sees, the road markings, more cars. Wow, that is pretty fascinating to watch. Now, I know for a lot of you guys who watch FSD videos all the time, this is probably nothing. I personally have not watched many FSD Beta videos. So it's got its left turn signal on, but we're supposed to be turning right. So that made no sense. Now we have our right turn signal on. All right, so it's already sending mixed signals to other traffic. This is a hard street to pull out on because there's some significant cross traffic. There is a guy coming from the left, and it is inching too far forward for my liking, so I'm gonna cut off the acceleration here. I'll merge us onto this street. You can see that guy. I don't know how hard it would get on the throttle. I guess I'll learn to trust it a little bit more, but I'm in manual driving mode, and now we're back to FSD Beta driving mode. Okay, so pretty good acceleration. It's merging into the left lane very smoothly, very normally. My Model S actually has a little bit of vibration when I drive it, and it's coming from the motors, and it only happens for the first mile or so of driving in a day. I haven't driven this car today yet. So now it's getting into the left turning lane. Wow, super smooth deceleration. Oh, this is super neat. Okay, we're turning hard right. Why are we turning hard right? Okay, that's weird. I feel bad for the people coming up on the right thinking we're gonna be turning right, so we have a left turn. Okay, sending mixed signals, got really close, hard on the brakes. Why are we stopping in the middle of the intersection? I'm taking over. What? Okay, maybe it's not as good as I thought it was gonna be. Okay, that was really all not good so far. So up to this point, any lane change it's had to do, just slammed on the brakes there. it's any interchange, it's sort of failed at, if you will. Now, I would typically be in the right lane on a road like this, so I'm going to see if I hit the right turn signal. It will let me move over. That's nice. Does that automatically. Very smooth. Okay, and again, it is nighttime. I don't think the temperature should affect it very much, but nighttime definitely will affect it a little bit. So let's see what it does during the daytime. Of course, maybe I'll do a follow-up video. But again, I wanted to take you for my first few minute drive in this, and I'm really excited to see what Alyssa thinks, because I think she's a bit more skeptical than I am. Now, it's following pretty close in this scenario. And I wonder if, because I forced it into the right lane, if it won't initiate a pass now. I'm not totally sure. Interestingly, it's not asking me to confirm to go through a green light. So before I had FSD Beta, oh, here we are, left turn signal on, changing lanes into faster lane, very nice. Just light touching the steering wheel here. Okay, well, let's see the red light. So in regular FSD, you know, before I got the beta, I would have to tap the accelerator pedal when I was coming up to a green light to tell it to go through. And here, it seems to just be doing that automatically, coming up to this red light line perfectly. That was 100% a perfect stop. Wow. That was nice. But I still don't quite understand why we had right lock on the wheel when we were turning left back there. It just sends weird signals. So, you know, when we get into how do we classify how this system works, I guess one of the problems I tend to have with seeing things on Twitter, and again, I don't really watch these videos that much or really even talk about FSD Beta that much. I've sort of ignored it, not intentionally, but it's just not my area of expertise. I think people classify drives as, did you crash? And if you made it to your destination without crashing, they say that is a successful drive on FSD Beta. And I would argue the complete opposite. I would say, did you blend in with traffic? So here we are, long intersection with no markings to go straight through. Wow, didn't even hesitate at all. It just knew exactly where it needed to go. My argument is, okay, well, we may have made it from A to B without crashing, but did we confuse everyone around us? Did we scare anyone around us? Did we send mixed signals? And part of the art of driving, in my mind, is the social aspects of it, the little clues, like when you can just tell someone's about to do something and you back off to let them in. I think this system, up to this point already, has sent some really mixed messages, at least to me, and I would imagine to some cars around me. But in a situation like this, it is doing it flawlessly, just so smooth, cruising down the road, initiating a left turn here, had its left turn signal on, turned it off, then put it back on. Interesting. But now we're in the center lane here. No left turn signal at the moment. We're just driving down the middle of the road. Now we have our left turn signal again. It's going to have to negotiate a left turn here. Okay, it's doing it. Went out, did a hard turn, but I would say executed just fine. That was great. Really cool experience. And there we go. So we've pretty much made it over to where Alyssa is. As we approach the exact area we need to go in, maybe I should drop a pin sort of kind of where I want it to bring us, which is just over here. Let's see if it can get us through the little tight neighborhood of bringing us through. So we are coming up to a stop sign. I don't know if it recognizes those. I would hope it would. Yes, it does. It's braking. We have our right turn signal on. It's moving over here to the right. Okay, very nice. Stopping pretty far back from where I would, but I think that's the legal place to stop. Ooh, harsh acceleration, and we're going for it. Oh, wow, it's pretty aggressive when it goes for it. But it did it just fine. Now we're going to have to turn left into here. Left signal on, all good. Okay, we're flying in. Turn car, turn car. Whoa! Huge acceleration. And, oh, scraped on the bump. Definitely didn't slow down for the bump. It's putting its left turn signal on, right turn signal on, and it says autopilot navigation complete. Press accelerator to resume. So I guess we're here. Okay, it's still going. You can see all the cars it can visualize is crazy, but I think you really do give the impression that you're drunk driving in this thing. So don't drink and drive it. So now it's got its right signal on. Now it's off. The signals are really bad. All right, well, we made it. So my initial impression, that was my first drive in my own car, was yeah, pretty clunky. Anytime it has to do an interchange, and maybe it's something I'll get more used to as I figure out, okay, is it supposed to be going this fast through this intersection or something like this? So yeah, let's grab Alyssa, let's throw her in the car, and let's go pick some points around the map and see how it does. I really can't wait to try this during the daytime, as I imagine it'll be even better. Wow, pretty impressive so far though, I have to say. Like, just that it can do this is really cool. I'm pretty pumped about it. All right. Hey, Alyssa.
Hey.
All right, you ready to try this thing out?
Honestly, no.
So it drove me here.
Well?
I would say, like, it's really cool. I think if I was behind it, I'd pull it over for drunk driving.
Would you want my grandfather to have it?
No.
Okay.
Not based off of that experience.
That's all I needed to know.
Okay, so tap to activate drive. We're gonna put this one on. I don't know if this one makes a difference or not, to be honest. I don't think it does. Maybe it does. So anyway, I've put into where we need to go, which is the hub, the future hub. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at all this, okay. All the visualizations.
I wonder if it could get inside my garage.
I don't think so. But I know that it went so fast through this little undulation here that I'm gonna slow it down manually so we don't scrape. Oh, so it wants to go to the right. There's a big curb here. You see that?
Yeah.
Oh, it wants to go to the right up here. So it's signaling in advance. So I'm gonna put the speed up to 30. So it's doing all this. There is a car behind us.
And there's lots of cops around here too.
Right, well, that would be kind of funny to get pulled over. So it's doing all this.
Okay.
A little jerky, but I mean, it did it pretty okay in my opinion.
Yeah. And why is it going way over the speed limit?
Well, I set it to go 5 over.
Oh, okay.
But there's speed bumps, so I'm going to slow it down because I don't think it slows down for speed bumps. Oh wait, maybe it did.
Well, you also just tinkered it down.
Yeah, but I tinkered it to 25 and it went to 19.
There's another one coming. So
yeah, let's see if it slows down for this speed bump coming up. That would be cool if it does.
I mean, that would be an improvement from the last time we had it.
There's a sign that says speed bump. And is it going to slow down for this one? Yes! Look at that! Slowing down for speed bumps. No way!
But also speeding up on the speed bump.
Yeah, but I would say that felt natural.
Yeah. I wonder if it could get through this thing. There's like a triangle situation
here. So, saw this one a little late, but still slowed down. I mean, that feels like a human driver.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool that it can do that.
I think what would be kind of a fun test is you just blindfold your passenger and they have to tell you when you're driving versus when it's driving.
Oh, that could be an interesting one. Based off of the smoothness.
Mm-hmm. But you got to go through like a neighborhood or something, because like going on a highway or something would be like too dull.
Right.
Of an experiment.
Okay, so now it's going to want to turn right on.
Ooh, it's taking the difficult way.
Yeah, I know. Normally I would go straight here, but we'll let it do its thing. You can see this blue line is where it wants to go. So it wants to go right. It knows about this curb. There is a car on the left. Will it go right on red?
Yeah, I was about to ask that too. Will it go right on red?
Automatically cleaning windshield.
Because it needs to make sure it sees.
I think it made it worse.
Go right on red.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
And it's got to get in the full left lane. So it's doing it. And it's accelerating. It's got to get all the way over there.
It's not. It's deciding not to anymore.
Oh, wait. Changing lanes to follow route.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay.
So it missed it. And it's hard on the brakes in the left lane in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the thing. It's sending mixed signals to traffic.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep, this isn't working. This isn't working.
Yeah. So I'm throttling right now.
Yeah.
Because it wanted to turn left there. So now it wants to turn right.
What?
I don't know, but there's too many cars around and it's sending too many mixed signals.
Can you?
Right turn signal. I've taken over.
Okay. But can you kind of like guide it to say, okay, now let's just take a left instead? Or can it U-turn?
Well, I don't really know if it can U-turn.
I bet it avoids all possibilities of a U-turn.
I don't know what it's doing here. Yeah. But let's kick it back on here. So now it's on left turn signal. So stop car. Okay, we have a green turn lane. There is a turning car on the right side of us. He is on the outside. Oh, I took over.
Yeah, because
he looked a little bit nervous.
It's wanting to go into
it. It wants to go. Okay.
No. Maybe we need to get it on the right path again.
Yeah, I just feel like, especially with other cars around, it feels a couple steps behind. So let's lock it back in. This seems like a more reasonable path. Hard acceleration there from it. It's getting in the left lane, even though it has to turn right.
Right now.
It wants to turn right now, and it just got in the left lane. Coming up to a red light.
And then missed it again.
Yeah, what was that about? Why would it go in the left lane when it wanted to go this way? So it wants to turn right here.
Should I tell everybody about my Uber driver?
Yeah, well, while we're confused, this is really confusing.
Yeah, so when I got back from Norway, if you guys know, we went on a trip to Norway, I had to visit family for a cruise ship and flew into Fort Lauderdale. And the guy who picked me up, he had a Tesla. He was an older gentleman, I would say around like 70 years old.
It's not in the turn lane. There's cars coming up behind us. Oh my gosh, this really is not doing so hot around here, is it?
No.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that required some interruption.
Yeah.
Go for it.
And this man believed in all things Tesla, FSD. He had actually FSD Beta because his driving score was so spectacular.
Right, because a driving score is a good metric as to if you can actually handle a system like this.
He didn't even know how to put navigation into his car at all. I had to put it in for him. And he also...
Well, this doesn't work without navigation.
Exactly. Well, he wasn't driving me in FSD.
Oh, I see.
But he just like physically actually just couldn't put in the address. Okay. I had to direct him. And I told him he needed to take a left, and
I've engaged it, by the way.
Yep. He went all the way into the right lane. This is a 4-lane road. And I was like, no, you need to go left. And about 50 to 100 feet before the light, he went across 4 lanes of traffic, straight 90-degree diagonal to get into the left lane. And I'm sitting here just going back and forth with this older gentleman about how it's not safe, and I just wanted to say so badly, and you're the reason why.
Right, I think a lot of it has to do with the driver here. So now it's getting into the right lane. It seems to do okay with right turns. Oh, but it didn't slow down for that bump. Okay, here we are slowing down for this turn. For left turns right now, I haven't had one successful left. So this is a free merge. We can just go for it. And the car knew that pretty well, so good. Yeah, and we can just stay in this lane through.
Right. So this is a bit of an easier route, but getting into where the hub is not easy.
Right, well, we'll
especially
see how
during the day.
Yeah, we'll see how it does it now. I mean, I'm going to play around with this for a while, but right now I would say I thought it would be further along than what I've experienced with left turns. And it could just be a nighttime thing. Totally,
yeah,
it could be a nighttime thing, but the signals it sends to me as a driver, and again, this is my first time, so maybe I'll start to figure it out.
Is this based off of mapping, or is it based off of straight visualization? Like so, every single moment is visual. So
basically, it slowed down way before it put its turn signal on, which is a little bit weird. But that felt pretty smooth. Braking here.
And there's a car.
There's a car coming in. Okay. Ooh. Okay, coming way too fast. I slowed it down by hitting the brakes because that would have freaked that guy out. That freaked me out.
His mouth closed.
Okay, so I would say it just sends very odd signals around. So where should we go from here? Let's go, I don't really know where to, but...
That would be kind of difficult.
Yeah, what would be? Well, I just want to give it a normal route.
You should actually go to the furniture store that I was just at.
Oh, yeah?
American Furniture or something like that.
Okay. American Furniture. And then that'll be kind of the end of the video, I think. American Furniture Warehouse, 2 miles.
On Frontage Road.
Okay, I mean, that seems like a super easy route.
Yeah.
Let's hit this one as it looks a little bit more difficult. Great. Selected. Boom. Locked in. On the system. I don't know where it's going or where. Well, oh.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
He doesn't know how to get out of here.
I accidentally put a little bit too much pressure in the wheel there.
He doesn't know how to get out.
And it wants to go 50 miles an hour. So I'm going to set it to parking lot speeds 10. It wants to go
50?
Well, it thought we were on the main road, so it thought the speed limit was 45.
Oh my gosh.
I would say really, and terrible. It's not looking for anything. Okay. There's a car there. Whoa, slamming on the brakes, hard turn. Oh, wow.
This is
okay, I'm slowing it down even more.
A 12-year-old trying to drive.
It's got its right turn signal on. There's a curb right here. I just don't want it to hit the curb. There's cars coming from the left. Ooh. We're facing the exact opposite direction
where we need to go.
I normally would face pulling out of here, but it is doing a pretty good job of not scraping the front lip. All right, so those cars are out of the way and it's going. That's smart. Right turn,
sure,
out on the road, and off we go. And we have to go left.
And it still hasn't moved over.
It's not initiating any lane change to go left. There's the first. So it should have been starting that earlier. We need to be in this full left lane. The cops are already there looking for us. All right, so now it's getting in this lane.
Will it hop over one more? It is hopping over one more.
Okay, well, the cops are over there dealing with looks like something more interesting than us.
The whole police station is those
we're
blue
right
lights.
in front of the we're in front of the police station. But see how we're turning left, but our wheels are turned to the right, Alyssa?
Yeah.
That to me is a bit odd. Okay, so let's. I'm hitting the brakes. Why would it think it's okay to accelerate there?
That's my life right before my eyes.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
That was so bad.
Okay, so we go.
So it still hasn't done one good left turn, but there are impressive bits. I've set it to 25.
Just nowhere near. Nowhere near. I mean, like, this is gonna, like, if this is the progress that they're making, then it's gonna be a freaking 10 plus years. Like, I hope, honestly.
I think the scariest bit is that anyone can have access to this, including us.
$200 a month, is it?
Yeah, okay, slowing down kind of at the last second for that one. I still think it's cool it slows down for bumps.
Well, I wonder why they changed it from, like, the good score people, now anybody can just buy it.
I thought the good score thing was a little bit misleading because I'm not sure why driving would quantify how you can monitor a system.
But it's at least less people using it.
Well, yeah, I mean, they've been through that phase, and I think they're trying to get more people to use it. I really don't know. And again, it could be a nighttime thing as to why it's hard for it. But, I mean, this system's going to have to work at night or daytime.
You can only drive your Tesla during the day.
But on a road like this, it's perfect, in my impression. So smooth. Look at that. Set steering input, no confusion, really amazing object recognition. You can see all the lines. It's very communicative as to what it can see. It says changing lanes to follow route. There's no lane to change here. And
so why would it even think that if there's a double yellow, though? That should just be a known. That should be like already coded in. You don't cross the double yellow.
I know. That's the kind of weird thing that I wonder how many FSD Beta testers are quantifying. Like on the drive over, I mentioned what quantifies a successful drive. Is it not crashing, or is it sending the right signals to everyone around you? And to me, it's sending the right signals to everyone around you.
Right, but I think to them is not crashing.
I think to many people, I wouldn't want to classify them all into one group. Right. I just haven't watched any videos of this, to be honest. So this is since the last time we experienced it a year ago.
It's really terrible.
This is the next thing I'm seeing. Yeah. Perfect stop at the stop sign. Super smooth.
But not a long enough stop legally, technically. Legally, you're supposed to stop.
Why are we turning right?
I think
now we're stuck in the middle of the intersection. Okay, I think it figured it out.
Okay.
And we're off. That was weird. Wow, how could it be this?
And we're kind of in the middle of the road right now because there are no...
Yeah, I think that's fine. I would drive here.
Now we're bumping back, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine. I think broadly, I would say really impressive that we're able to get to what this can do today.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say it's not like, at least based off of this initial experience, I wouldn't say anyone could just like drive to their office.
No.
But I keep hearing stories of how people are did a non-takeover drive, and if they're doing a non-takeover drive, how many near misses are they having?
Have they used it to do that? Because I mean,
a lot. I think people use this all the time.
Well, like I'm talking in terms of like muscle memory for the car. Like, have they already done it 50 times to where the car has been able to perfect it over a period of time?
Well, so the idea is all the cars are interlinked.
Okay.
That's the idea. So it wouldn't matter for that one specific car. It should do data sharing, some sort of training, a large neural net. Okay, I could probably bump the speed up to 30 here, but now we're slowing down for the stop sign smoothly. Right turn signal on. This is what I would expect. This is good.
And this can be a kind of busy road.
Mm-hmm. There's one car coming from the left, so I imagine it's gonna have to inch forward a little bit. So it's inching, braking, inching, pulling out smoothly so far. A little weird on the wheel.
A little jerky.
It definitely doesn't give you a human driving impression.
No.
But it did that. I would say that's acceptable, what it just did. Might be a little bit jerky, but that's fine.
But when you think about the whole like robotic system, what people have been able to create within robotics is absolutely incredible at this point. So then why wouldn't something like this be just as matched?
So are you talking robotics or artificial intelligence?
Like the human robots now they're pretty much just human.
I think a lot of that is just in a very small environment.
Yeah, I guess so.
And this is putting a car into the real world.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And again, I think maybe it works better geographically in certain areas, because in San Francisco, people are probably using this all the time. There's probably only 5 people in Fort Collins that have this. So there's not many people in our town that are probably using the system. But look, it did this perfectly, chose the correct lane. It is following relatively closer than I would like. Especially at nighttime when we're the only 2 cars in the road.
I feel like it's trying to keep up with the speed limit that you've set versus actually using the adaptive cruise distance.
No, because we're still 6 under where I set.
Well, like to get to the car, and then I realized, oh, there is a car, I need to back off.
Yeah, that's how they're designed to work. So we need to turn left here on the frontage road. So that would be right now, car. Yep. Okay, car coming straight at us, hard on the brakes.
Have you touched it yet?
No, I haven't. I'm just grazing the wheel, as I should.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I would have just done a continuously smooth move there.
Right.
We'll put the high beams on for it so we can see a little bit more. We're going to lower the speed for the corners because it's flying up here.
Mm-hmm.
It's driving like me now.
It's like that Ford Focus who passed. This is where he passed me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He's driving so aggressively.
Okay, high beam off. I do not have auto high beam on. For some reason, it hasn't forced it on.
It hasn't slowed down either, even though there's...
Right, hasn't slowed down for this corner. Passing the BMW motorcycle dealer. You can pull in there if you want, car. Would love to get one. Whoa! Definitely a little confusion on the system there. But yeah, look at this, going in just fine. So it loves straight. It hates left turns, although it did that left turn just fine back there. That last one.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I just can't believe it would accelerate with oncoming traffic. I guess, yeah, on one hand, I think it's extremely impressive what it can do.
Right.
On the other hand, I think it's really not good at all.
But I would be curious if somebody like who's a lot less cautious than you, I'm sure there's somebody out there that is just straight balls to the wall, I'm not touching this thing, and just lets it go.
Yeah.
Like how much better it would, if it would do any better, or if you're just taking over too much caution with it.
I don't know why you would think it'd be different. It's the same software.
Yeah, I don't know.
What are you thinking? I'm curious.
Well, I'm thinking of like...
It's not different car to car, you know.
Ooh.
Whoa, full brakes. Just went full, and it's got left signal on. This car's coming out. Sorry to interrupt you there.
Yeah, I don't...
And it did this super smooth.
Yeah.
I don't know why it had to slam on the brakes. Like if there was a car behind us, that would be odd. So left turn signal on.
Nothing to see here.
I don't know why it accelerates brakes, accelerate brakes. It should just like have a set point and then go there.
Yeah, so I guess it can't, like, you go to a location, it can't park itself.
Right, so now it says autopilot navigation complete, press accelerator to resume, and it has its left turn signal on for some reason.
And we're just in the middle of the parking lot.
Okay, canceled. All right, so there you go. That's the end of it. Well, let's do our final thoughts on camera, but I just wanted to clarify one thing before we do that. You were saying something about like how a user would make the car drive differently, you're thinking?
I don't know, I just feel like mentally you're a lot more cautious and taking over in certain situations instead of letting it kind of figure it out.
You mean by crashing?
I mean, would it crash though? You don't know unless you actually let it.
So should we do FSD Beta Extreme next episode?
Maybe, I don't know, but... Well,
let's put it on the Model 3 because who cares on that one?
Yeah.
Okay, let's finish up with our final thoughts. So Alyssa, our first FSD Beta experience in our car, to me it doesn't really feel any different than a year ago.
No, I mean, a year ago it was a little bit more sketchy, I would say.
Okay. We also did sketchier things with it.
Right, yeah, we pushed it a little bit more to the limits, which, I mean, of course we'll continue to do, but it's not safe.
Well, I would say, okay, is it unsafe because I'm here to take over? Like, I at no point thought we were ever going to crash, right? I'm here to take over the car.
But would you ever want me to play around with this?
I don't know if you would know exactly when would be the smart time.
And I would say I'm kind of like the average human who can actually buy this.
Right. Well, that's a thought. I mean, at the end of the day, so impressive as to what it can do, no question. I thought it would do a little bit better than what I just experienced.
And it might be the daytime and nighttime thing.
Absolutely. I'm going to play around with it in the daytime to see if it can perform any better. I'm going to use this system very often, but I will say I hate sending mixed signals to cars around me. I like to be very deliberate with my actions. I want people to know where I'm going.
It just gives people anxiety around you of like, holy crap, what is this man
and
doing?
Me. It's like a right signal, left signal, brakes in the middle of the road. Hard left, hard right.
It's just embarrassing too.
Yes, it's embarrassing. And like people know us in town.
Yeah.
They'll be like, Kyle, why are you driving like that? I'd be like, it wasn't me. I got my windows tinted. Well, there you go. FSD Beta. It's on the car. Don't expect to see too many videos on this channel. Maybe I'll make some more on my personal channel. It's just called Kyle Connor. But yeah, I don't know what to think. I think I really want to like it, but
I hate it. I hate everything about it. It's just terrible.
I love the idea of autonomous driving. I'm not sure I love the idea of the gray area between.
Maybe if we're like floating in the clouds, then it would be okay.
Sure.
But when we're on roads, no.
Yeah, to me, it's really just the signals it sends to other drivers that bugs me. But there you go. Curious to see what you guys think. Curious, I'm sure a lot of you have just gotten this update. Curious to see how you're doing out there. My cautionary recommendation is just pay attention. Yeah, just pay attention. And I would say take over earlier rather than later. But maybe I'll learn to be a little bit more aggressive with the system. Thanks for watching another Out of Spec Reviews video, and we'll see you in another one soon. Bye-bye.